The next thing that we're going to look at is the weaknesses inside of our routing tool. If we take a look at front.php and we look at our routing here, there's a lot of limitations. We have managed to build something that's fairly flexible. We've taken out any duplicated code between each of these lines inside of our mapper. But what if we want to, for example, add something dynamic to the other side of our URLs? Just as an example, let me jump back to the browser, and let's say instead of hello and our query string that we've been using, why don't we just put a name there instead? That would kind of make more sense when it comes to the URL. And if you think about things like blogs, where we might have blog, and then we might have blog article, and then some article number, we want to be able to deal with dynamic elements inside of our URL. We don't want to have to always push things through the query string. But we can add this support by adding the routing component of Symfony into our project. And with it, we'll get some additional features as well. So I'm going to go back to the resource pack directory, and let's open up the 21st step, which is composer JSON added routing component. Copy the code that's in here and paste it over the code that's currently in your composer.json file and save it. You can see here that we've just added one line for our Symfony routing. Make sure if you're typing this out by hand that you add a comma after this first item. Arrays in JavaScript are a bit different than PHP. You can't have a trailing comma on the last item of your array, but you do need them for every other item. So now, in order to pull in this change, we're going to run Composer. This time, instead of running install, which is what we would do initially for a project, we're going to run update. So I'm going to jump to our command line tool. I'll clear the back scroll here, and I'm going to type composer.var. Again, if you're on Windows, this would be just composer. Update. All right, so this looks good. We installed our Symfony routing component. If we jump to our examples folder and we expand our vendor folder, if we collapse our HTTP foundation, we'll see routing. And if you take a browse through here, you can see some of the different classes that we're going to be using here shortly. So as always, you can open these up to take a look at them just to get a sense of what they do and how the file is structured. Keep in mind that these are components that are meant to be used with lots of other components, not just from Symfony, but from other projects as well. So taking a look at the structure of the code in these files is a good learning experience. Even if you don't quite understand everything that's going on, you can get a sense of structure and how certain aspects of the code are approached. All right, I'm going to scroll up here and collapse this vendor folder again.